Welcome back to CIA Declassified. Put yourself in the shoes of a Cold War operative. Actually, scratch that. You don't even have shoes. You've been captured behind enemy lines. You've been strip searched. They've checked your collar for poison pills and your heels for hidden blades. They think you're neutralized, but they forgot one thing. They were too polite to look inside. We're talking about the Rectal toolkit. It's not a myth, it's not a joke, and it's certainly not comfortable, unless you're into it, of course. It was a masterpiece of miniaturized engineering, a last-ditch survival pod designed to be carried where no guard would dare to go. It's the story of how the agency ensured that even a naked agent was still a dangerous one. The Rectal Toolkit, or the E&E kit, was developed by the CIA's Office of Technical Services, OTS, and as you know if you're a long-time listener, that's the scariest division in the CIA. This wasn't just a pill bottle, it was a highly specialized container. The kit consisted of a smooth, cylindrical capsule made of high-impact plastic or aluminum, measuring roughly 3 to 4 inches. It was designed to be internally cached by the agent before entering a high-risk zone. A quote from a declassified OTS equipment catalog. The escape kit is designed for concealment in the rectal cavity. The container is hermetically sealed to protect the contents from moisture and body fluids. It contains the minimum essential tools required to effect an escape from standard restraints and confinement. Inside the teeny tube, the CIA managed to pack an incredible array of tools. A miniature steel file, a serrated wire saw capable of cutting through iron bars, several lockpick tools, a tiny compass, and sometimes a silk map of the local area. The capsule featured a flared base or a small nylon loop to ensure the agent could actually retrieve the kit when needed, a design detail that was refined after several unrecoverable mishaps during training. A quote from a retired OTS engineer: "We had to test the structural integrity of the pods to ensure they wouldn't crush under internal pressure. The last thing you want is a saw blade coming loose in that particular location." End quote. The wire saw, known as a Geely saw, was made of high tensile steel wire with diamond dust coating, allowing it to be coiled tightly inside the pod without losing its edge. Agency instructors at the farm taught agents how to relax their muscles to carry the device for up to 48 hours without showing a labored gait that would tip off experienced interrogators. The kit also contained escape tablets, highly concentrated energy stimulants to give the agent a boost of stamina once they cleared the prison walls. OTS developed different versions of the pod for different regions. Some were weighted to sink if dropped in water, while others were designed to be buoyant. The tiny compass included in the kit was often a jeweled pivot needle that was so small it had to be used with a magnifying lens, which, you guessed it, also in the kit. A declassified 1960s memo reveals the agency experimented with non-metallic versions of the tools made of ceramic to beat the early metal detectors being installed in security prisons. The kit's lockpick set was specifically designed to work on the most common Soviet and East German padlocks of the era. Some kits included a tiny cyanide as a last resort option, though this was usually kept in a separate, easier-to-reach compartment like a hollow tooth. The outer shell of the capsule was coated in a special medical-grade silicone to minimize irritation during long-term deployment. The CIA eventually phased out the aluminum pods because they were too visible on X-ray machines, switching to advanced polymers that mimicked the density of human tissue. Technical diagrams show the capsule was used as a double-threaded screw cap with a rubber O-ring designed to withstand the pressure changes associated with high-altitude parachute jumps. The agency's technical services team developed a specialized insertive lube that was also used for sealing the waterproof gaskets on spy cameras, proving that the CIA was very fond of multi-purpose substances. A quote from a declassified operative debriefing: retention during physical activity was the primary concern. Once the adrenaline kicks in, you tend to forget it's there until you're sitting on a wooden bench for 6 hours of questioning. End quote. Before the standardized capsule, agents sometimes used hollowed out cigars or fountain pens, but these lacked the anatomical security of the pod. The kit included a friction wire that could ignite a small thermite charge to destroy sensitive documents or melt a lock if stealth was no longer an option. When you look at the declassified manuals for the E&E kit, the black redaction ink gets incredibly thick around the usage instructions. Now, for a little conspiracy cocktail, this is strict speculation. The heaviest redactions appear in the medical complications section. Rumor has it that the black bars hide the details of the permanent cachet. The theory is that some deep cover agents had the kits surgically implanted in a way that wouldn't interfere with their biology, and the redactions hide the horrific recovery process once the mission was over. Let's look into the shadows. Here's some more speculation. Some researchers believe the black bars in the toolkit hide a biological sabotage tool. The theory is that the kit contained a vial of bacteria meant to be released into the prison's water supply to create a distraction during the escape, and the bars cover the name of that pathogen. Time to tune into some more weird stuff. This is pure speculation. There's a wild theory that the redactions hide the homeward beacon. Speculation suggests the kit contained a tiny radioactive isotope that could be detected by a low-flying CIA plane, and the black bars hide the fact that agents were essentially walking Geiger counters. Let's get a bit of Art Bell with this one. Strict conspiracy theory. Whispers on the dark web claim the Rectal toolkit wasn't just for tools. The theory is that the black bars hide the Soul Anchor, a high-tech frequency emitter designed to prevent the agent from being broken by psychic interrogation, and the redactions cover the metaphysical specs. Pulling back the curtain on the unproven, this is some more speculation. Some say the redactions hide the explosive option. The theory is that the pod was designed to be a body bomb of last resort, and the black bars hide the amount of C4 that could be packed into a space that small. Here's a bit of late night radio theorizing. This is a non-factual conspiracy, to be clear. Could the pod have been a communication device? Some theorists claim the black bars hide the internal transceiver, a tool that used the agent's own spinal column as an antenna to signal a nearby listening post without a single wire showing. Let's talk about the gray men in the room. Strict speculation. There is a gritty theory that the redacted sections on field recovery hide the fact that the CIA had cleaning teams whose only job was to retrieve these pods from agents who didn't make it out alive. The bars hide the grave robbing protocols. Now, for the truly bizarre, pull out your tinfoil hats. One fringe theory suggests the pods hold chrono-stabilizers. The idea is that in high-stress interrogations, time feels distorted, and the pod allegedly released chemicals to keep the agent's internal clock synced with headquarters, and the black bars hide the time travel physics. Shedding light on the deep state, strict conspiracy. Some believe the Rectal toolkit was actually a prototype for nanobot delivery. The speculation is that the black bars hide the 1970s test results of microscopic robots that would exit the pod and pick the lock from the outside, leaving the agent with clean hands. The final shadow in the file, this is pure speculation. Some say the redactions hide the doppelganger kit. The theory is that the pod contained a facial mold that could be expanded to change an agent's appearance in seconds after the escape, and the black bars hide the mask-making chemistry. Was the Rectal toolkit a success? Operationally, it was a triumph. While the agency doesn't release success rates for escapes, declassified history shows that several pilots shot down over North Vietnam, and operatives in the Eastern Bloc credited their survival to internally cached equipment. Psychologically, it was the ultimate morale booster. Knowing you weren't truly helpless gave captured agents the mental edge needed to survive interrogation. The bottom line led to some very high top technology, operational breakthroughs, extreme miniaturization. The need to fit a saw, a file, and a map into a 4-inch tube pushed the OTS to create the world's smallest high-performance tools. Biocompatible polymers. The research into the capsule shell contributed to the development of modern medical implants and smart pills that can be swallowed to deliver medicine. Stealth material science. The shift from metal to ceramic tools was a massive leap in signature reduction, helping modern gear stay invisible to scanners. Clandestine survival theory. The kit changed the way E&E was taught, moving from outdoor survival to prison break engineering. The Rectal toolkit is a reminder that in the world of espionage, there is no such thing as being empty-handed. Thanks for listening. Next time, we move from the darkness of a cell to the open skies of Europe. We examine the radio-free Europe internal balloons. How do you break a news blackout in a country where the borders are closed and the radios are jammed? You launch a cloud of truth. We'll look at the logs of Operation Focus, the massive CIA program that used weather balloons to drop millions of leaflets over Poland and Hungary, from the balloon wars in the sky to the hilarious way the Soviets tried to shoot them down. We uncover the agency's airborne propaganda machine. Join us for the paper rain next time. In the meantime, I'll see you in the archives.